one of the stories goes that they were all one big township at one time, and it was called Troy. And the church was in the south side, so they called it South Troy. And then when it ended up being two separate townships, this side of the river and that, those guys on the other side. But anyway, the two sides, and then they dropped the Troy name, but the South Troy stuck. Well, the area is still have all the people here, but we want to try and get people to come together to know their neighbors and to be a community, not just like, oh yeah, I know there's somebody lives next, down the road there a ways, but to actually know who they are and to to be neighborly like they used to be, the old neighborly type. Well, there's the Laura Ingalls Wilder history, I guess. It was they came across in the winter, and she wrote in one of her books that her brother was ill or got ill and died, and they buried him in the South Troy Cemetery in the South Troy area, and we think it's in the cemetery down the road here a little ways. That was the only one that's close by. Some said that there had been a cemetery west of here, like a quarter of a mile or so, but that's never been proven. So.
But some of the history that's really interesting is, to me, when I was reading through this stuff, was that you said during the Depression and during the really hard times for farmers, this church helped a lot of farms stay viable. They helped them keep out of debt and not lose their farms. And I thought that was a pretty neat history for a church.
It had been a continuous Wesleyan church from 1856 until about 1988. And
that's when they closed it while we were here.
So after they were closed for a while, then they gave the church to the Three Pillars Society. That was the three pillars being the school, the church, and the little log cabin.
I became a Christian here, and I got married here, and so that's pretty cool. The church has been around for so long, and they've kept it up pretty good, so hopefully we can continue to use it.
Well, not only to just get the community together, but to have them come together for Christ. I mean, not just to be a community gathering place, but also to teach the word and
So the Iowa Minnesota district still owns the church.
So Colleen was ministering in Austin at Crane Chapel at the Wesleyan Church there, and the pastor is also on the district board, and he said, the district still owns South Troy. Why don't you, try and see if there's a ministry there that could be started again. So that's where we're at.
That's where we are.
We're starting again.
I see it very possible it could grow because there's, like Gary said, there's a lot of people that really don't go anywhere. A lot of them are from Catholic and Lutheran backgrounds that used to go, and so we want to give them a viable church that's in the community that will minister to their needs. And no, my vision might be too big, but I'm really trusting that in the next, by Easter next year, we'll have a good-sized congregation. If we get enough people coming in between September and April next year, that'll be what shows if it's going to be a church or not. So if it doesn't, we did our best, and we'll have to let it go. But I think we've had, God's been just providing stuff. It's just been really surprising. It's really testing our faith because we didn't have any idea it would work. So we're just going out on faith every day, and so far, if you're willing to work hard and God really wants you there, it'll work. He says, but you have to stay put and you have to work. And he says, if the people see you working, it makes a big difference. And so that's kind of what, we're hard workers anyway, so.
Well, I agree to that. Gary and Colleen have really been hard workers. And if anyone can make it succeed, the Lord is with them, and they'll succeed in this. It's been a real blessing to me to come.